A picturesque town nestled amidst the majestic Rocky Mountains, she hoped for a fresh start. Yet, the serene beauty of her surroundings belied the storm brewing within her personal life. As the crisp November air settled over the quaint community, Kelsey Berreth would become the center of a harrowing mystery that would captivate the nation. On the surface, Kelsey's life appeared enviable. She was a dedicated mother, an accomplished pilot, and a beloved member of her community. Her colleagues at DOS Aviation respected her not only for her skill in the cockpit, but also for her unwavering dedication to her students. Her daughter, Kaylee, was the light of her life, and Kelsey was determined to provide her with a nurturing environment filled with love and opportunity. However, the facade of a perfect life began to crack as tensions with her fiancé, Patrick Frazee, escalated. Friends noticed the subtle changes in Kelsey, a shadow of anxiety that occasionally darkened her otherwise vibrant demeanor. Behind closed doors, Frazee's controlling nature surfaced, creating an environment fraught with emotional turmoil. Despite the red flags, Kelsey remained hopeful, clinging to the belief that their relationship could be salvaged for the sake of their family. As Thanksgiving approached, Kelsey was eager to celebrate with her loved ones, cherishing the warmth of family gatherings and the simple joy of shared momented questions and an aching void for those who loved her. The investigation into Kelsey's disappearance revealed a complex narrative of betrayal and deceit. Detectives unearthed a chilling web of manipulation orchestrated by Frazee, whose charming exterior masked a sinister intent. As the layers of his duplicity were peeled back, a disturbing plot emerged, one that would forever alter the lives of those touched by Kelsey's kindness. In the wake of her disappearance, Kelsey's family, led by her mother Cheryl, became relentless advocates for justice. Their unwavering determination to uncover the truth cast a spotlight on the darker aspects of human nature, challenging assumptions and demanding accountability. Kelsey's story serves as a stark reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of profound adversity. Her legacy endures not only through the memories cherished by those who knew her, but also in the broader call for vigilance and compassion in our communities. In the end, the search for truth and justice for Kelsey Berreth transcends her tragic fate, echoing a universal plea for love, understanding, and the unwavering pursuit of justice in a world often shadowed by darkness. Colorado, a land of rugged mountains and sweeping plains, was meant to be a sanctuary for Kelsey Berreth and her young daughter. Here, amid the serene landscapes, she sought to weave a tapestry of stability and warmth, crafting a life defined by love and unwavering dedication. Her new home, a cozy condominium, stood as a testament to her resilience and determination. With each passing day, she immersed herself in her career, ensuring that her daughter grew up in a nurturing environment filled with laughter and care. Despite the miles that separated her from her family in Washington, Kelsey remained intimately connected with them. Her mother, Cheryl Lee, was more than just a parent. She was a confidant, a pillar of strength. They shared daily conversations, their voices bridging the distance as Kelsey juggled her responsibilities with grace and compassion. Cheryl often painted a portrait of her daughter as a woman of boundless empathy, someone who prioritized the well-being of others and pursued her dreams with unyielding resolve. Thanksgiving Day, November 22, 2018, was meant to be a celebration of gratitude and togetherness. Kelsey was last captured on surveillance cameras, shopping at a local Safeway with her one-year-old daughter, preparing for a festive meal. It was a day that promised warmth and familial joy, one to be spent in the company of her fiancé. Yet the day veered into tragedy, becoming the final chapter of Kelsey's life. When Kelsey's family found themselves unable to reach her, an unsettling silence filled the void. Her absence was a stark contrast to her character. She was a devoted mother, her life intertwined with her daughters. The lack of communication was a clarion call of distress. Cheryl's attempts to contact Kelsey were met with silence, prompting her to reach out to Patrick Frazee, Kelsey's fiancé. His response was cloaked in deceit, claiming that Kelsey had ended their relationship and needed solitude. As investigators peeled back the layers of Frazee's narrative, inconsistencies began to surface. Cell phone records unveiled a startling revelation. Kelsey's phone had pinged in Gooding, Idaho, 3 days after her disappearance, a staggering 700 miles from her Colorado abode. This discovery was a catalyst, transforming the investigation and casting doubt on Frazee's placid demeanor. The investigation delved deeper into Frazee's life, uncovering an intricate web of connections. Among them was Crystal Lee Kenny, a nurse from Idaho and Frazee's former flame. The frequency of their communal not ignore. It was the missing piece in a jigsaw puzzle of deceit and betrayal. Burdened by the weight of her conscience, Crystal Lee Kenny eventually stepped forward, her confession unraveling the sinister plot that had claimed Kelsey's life. She revealed that Frazee had meticulously orchestrated Kelsey's murder, a plan that had germinated long before that fateful Thanksgiving. On 3 separate occasions, he had sought Kenny's complicity in his heinous scheme. Though she claimed she could not bring herself to participate in the act, when the moment arrived, Frazee enlisted her help to erase the traces of his crime. Kenny's admission sent ripples through the community, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. It was a revelation that laid bare the depths of human depravity, a sobering testament to the fragility of trust and the destructive power of deceit. As the truth emerged, it served as a poignant reminder that even in the face of unimaginable betrayal, the human spirit endures, seeking justice and closure in the shadow of loss. In the shadows of a quiet suburban neighborhood, the macabre tale of Kelsey Berreth's final moments began to unravel, each revelation more grotesque than the last. It was a narrative of unspeakable violence, meticulously pieced together by investigators who listened intently as the chilling details emerged. Kelsey, a young mother with a promising future, met her untimely end at the hands of Patrick Frazee, her partner. In the sanctuary of her own home, where laughter and love once echoed, Frazee unleashed a monstrous fury that defied human comprehension. With their infant daughter mere feet away, oblivious to the horror unfolding, Kelsey was subjected to a brutal assault. Frazee placed a sweater over her head, an attempt to stifle her cries, and then, wielding a baseball bat, he struck her with merciless precision. Each blow was a calculated step towards an unthinkable silence. The violence did not merely end Kelsey's life. A blight deceit stepped into the aftermath. The scene that greeted her was nothing short of a nightmare. Blood stained every surface, painting a portrait of chaos and destruction. The bathroom walls bore witness to Kelsey's final struggle, while the vanity and toilet stood as silent testaments to the savagery that had occurred. Under Frazee's manipulation, Kenny found herself scrubbing away the evidence, a futile attempt to erase the indelible marks of his cruelty. She discarded blood-soaked rags, towels, and, heartbreakingly, some of the child's toys, silent casualties of the horror that had unfolded. Yet, despite her efforts, the truth lingered in the form of minute blood traces that would later become the harbingers of justice. Forensic experts would uncover these hidden splatters, each one narrating the grim story of that fateful night. Kenny's confession illuminated the premeditated nature of Frazie's actions. This was no crime of passion, but a cold, calculated execution of malevolence. Patrick Frazee had orchestrated every detail with chilling precision, a puppet master pulling strings in a sinister performance. As investigators delved deeper, the monstrous scope of his plan emerged, leaving those who learned of it haunted by the depths of his depravity. After extinguishing Kelsey's life, Frazee exhibited an unnerving calm. There was no panic, no frantic escape. Instead, he methodically executed the next phase of his plan. He placed Kelsey's lifeless body into a black tote bag, concealing it amidst hay bales on a nearby farm. It was as if he believed he could hide away the evidence of his atrocity and continue with life unscathed. Disturbingly, he did just that. Hours after the murder, Frazee sat at a Thanksgiving table, surrounded by family, feigning normalcy. He laughed, he ate, he engaged in the trappings of a festive occasion, all while harboring the dark secret of his recent actions. This facade of normality, the absence of remorse, sent shivers through those who later learned of the events. Days passed, and Frazee returned to the farm, determined to obliterate any remaining evidence of his crime. He retrieved the tote bag, placed it in a metal trough, and doused it with gasoline. As flames consumed the remnants of his heinous act, thick, acrid smoke billowed into the sky, a final futile attempt to erase his guilt. As the fire smoldered and died, Frazee sifted through the ashes, crushing and scattering the remains of what once was a life. It was a chilling conclusion to an act of pure evil, one that left an indelible mark on all who encountered its haunting narrative. In the end, the story of Kelsey Berreth's tragic demise serves as a stark reminder of the duality of human nature, the capacity for both love and unspeakable cruelty, and the eternal struggle for justice in the face of overwhelming darkness. Had simply vanished of her own accord. The web of deception that Frazee had meticulously woven began to unravel, exposing a tapestry of malevolence that stretched far beyond the initial act of violence. The tale of Patrick Frazee is one steeped in the darkest aspects of human nature, where manipulation and malevolence intertwine to form a chilling narrative. The custody battle that ostensibly drove him to murder was but a facade, masking a deeper, more sinister desire for control. Kelsey Berreth was not just a mother fighting for her child. She was a victim ensnared in Frazee's calculated game of power and domination. In the aftermath of her disappearance, the community reeled with disbelief. Kelsey had been a beloved figure, known for her warmth and kindness, qualities that stood in stark contrast to the monstrous acts that ended her life. The brutality of her murder sent ripples of horror through a town unaccustomed to such savagery, leaving a void that could never be filled. The courtroom, a place of justice and retribution, became the stage upon which the grim details of Frazee's plot were laid bare. The evidence, as damning as it was comprehensive, painted a portrait of a man who had become a stranger to compassion. Witnesses recounted conversations that unveiled his relentless pursuit of a twisted vision of family, one that excluded Kelsey entirely. His attempts to recruit accomplices to carry out his heinous plans were chilling reminders of his detachment from reality. Crystal Lee Kenny, an unwitting accomplice, found herself trapped in a moral quagmire. Her involvement, though reluctant, would forever tether her to the crime. Her testimony became a cornerstone of the prosecution's case, a stark reminder of the lengths to which Frazee went to conceal his guilt. Her decision to assist in the aftermath, driven by fear and manipulation, highlighted the pervasive influence Frazee wielded over those in his orbit. As the investigation unfolded, the meticulous work of law enforcement began to dismantle Fraze's facade. The digital footprints left behind, from cell phone pings to surveillance footage, painted an irrefutable picture of guilt. Each piece of evidence was a thread, pulling apart the tapestry of lies that Fraze had so carefully constructed. The truth, once obscured by deceit, emerged with a clarity that could not be denied. In the end, the trial was not just about justice for Kelsey, but also an examination of the human capacity for cruelty and deception. The jury, tasked with rendering a verdict, was faced with the undeniable reality of Fraze's actions. It was a moment of reckoning, not just for him, but for a community grappling with the aftermath of a crime that defied comprehension. The legacy of Patrick Fraze's actions extends beyond the courtroom. It serves as a haunting reminder of the potential for darkness within the human soul. Yet amidst the tragedy, there is a lesson in resilience, a testament to the enduring strength of those left behind. In the shadow of loss, there is a call to cherish the light of human connection, to hold dear the bonds that withstand even the darkest of storms. Vanished into the shadows of a chilling narrative, the case of Kelsey Berreth unravels with an unsettling clarity. The security footage, a silent witness, captured Patrick Fraze and Crystal Lee Kenny at a gas station, a mundane setting transformed into a foreboding prelude to tragedy. The gasoline they purchased would later play a sinister role, used to obliterate any trace of Kelsey's existence. Piece by piece, the meticulously constructed facade of deceit that Fraze had erected began to crumble. Each fragment of evidence, each innocuous message, and every calculated timestamp inexorably pointed back to him. By the time December of 2018 arrived, his intricate web of lies had finally disintegrated under the weight of undeniable truth. The legal machine moved swiftly. Fraze was apprehended and faced with an array of charges: 2 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of solicitation to commit murder, and tampering with a deceased body. Prosecutors left no stone unturned, pursuing dual murder charges, one for his solitary involvement and another in anticipation of potential accomplices. Crystal Lee Kenny emerged as a pivotal figure, the fulcrum upon which the case would turn. Her testimony was a harrowing revelation of complicity. She confessed to her involvement in sanitizing the crime scene, an act that would forever tether her to Fraze's dark deeds. In court, she unveiled the chilling extent of his premeditated malice, revealing how Fraze orchestrated Kelsey's demise long before the fateful day, repeatedly attempting to coerce her into executing his grim plan. Despite her expressions of remorse and her guilty plea to tampering with evidence, the public's fury was unabated. Many viewed her as a passive accomplice, a bystander who could have intervened to save Kelsey's life, but remained silent until it was irrevocably too late. The courtroom drama reached its climax in November of 2019. The jury, unwavering in their conviction, found Fraze guilty on all counts. The judge's words were unflinching, condemning the murder as brutal and senseless, and sentencing Fraze to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, augmented by an additional 156 years for his other crimes. For Kelsey's family, the verdict was a bittersweet balm, a semblance of justice, yet devoid of true solace. Those present described the courtroom atmosphere as palpably heavy, the air thick with grief as the grim reality of Kelsey's fate settled in. In the aftermath, a glimmer of hope emerged for Kelsey's young daughter, Kaylee. Her grandparents were entrusted with her care, ensuring she would grow up enveloped in a cocoon of love, surrounded by family who would regale her with stories of the mother who cherished her beyond measure. Kelsey's tragic end cast a glaring spotlight on the insidious nature of domestic control and emotional abuse. Friends and colleagues, in retrospect, acknowledged the subtle signs of Frazie's controlling nature, yet none foresaw the horrific escalation that ensued. This collective silence, this reluctance to voice concerns, ultimately cost Kelsey her life. Her story became a catalyst for a national dialogue, a clarion call to recognize the red flags of abuse and to extend a lifeline before it's too late. It served as a stark reminder that abuse is not always marked by visible wounds. Often it lurks beneath a veneer of charm, routine, and quietude. Though justice was meted out, Kelsey's story resonates still. Her family and friends continue to mourn, but they channel their grief into advocacy, tirelessly championing awareness and prevention. Through their efforts, Kelsey's legacy endures, a poignant testament to the enduring power of truth and the unyielding pursuit of justice. Kelsey Berreth's life was a tapestry woven with threads of love, hope, and boundless promise. Her journey, though tragically abbreviated, has become a beacon of awareness, urging others to remain vigilant, to heed the whispers of their instincts, and to be ever watchful for those ensnared in perilous relationships. Her narrative is not merely a tale of caution, but a call to action, inspiring individuals to scrutinize the shadows that may cloud the lives of those around them. In the wake of her story, countless lives have been touched, prompting a collective awakening to the silent cries that often go unheard. As we delve into the intricate layers of such narratives, we are reminded of the profound impact one life can have on the many. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of awareness. In the quiet moments of reflection, may we find the strength to protect not only ourselves, but also those who may silently suffer. In doing so, we honor Kelsey's legacy and strive to forge a world where love and hope reign supreme, unmarred by the shadows of violence and fear.